Yo, welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I'm your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Sunday night from Los Angeles, California, man. Hope everyone's having a great day. Dodgers had themselves a great day. Had a little bit of rough Friday, Saturday. I got my days mixed up. Every day's the same to me. I've been so busy. I apologize. But they had a rough Friday, a rough Saturday, and they had a blessed Sunday, man. Hope you guys had a blessed Sunday as well. And we're here to talk some Los Angeles Dodgers baseball. We're here to talk the NL West. We are here to talk the final 31 games of the season. We're going to talk Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We're going to talk Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Dalton Rushing, and everyone else on this Dodger ball club that has been a roller coaster ride of a season when it comes to this Dodgers ball club. And ups and downs and everything else in between. But here we go. 31 games left. They are in a virtual tie with the San Diego Padres. We still are first place in the division because of the tiebreaker. We faced the San Diego Padres 13 times. We beat them 9 times, including the last one today in a belt-to-ass situation. And, man, I really, really wish I could have been at Petco, man. Just wasn't in the cards for me, man. I am pretty much handcuffed by my schedule, and I couldn't get out there. And I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. I wanted to get out there and represent everyone I know that was out there. So many people have sent me videos and pictures, and looked like a really good time, good vibe for everyone that was out there. And I really, really wish I could. But thank God Freddie Freeman was out there today, man. And thank God that Dalton Rushing and these situations that the team has been continuously putting him in, because they see him as their future one way or another, different positions, but they're going to put him in situations. And that situation Friday night, I know, ruffled a lot of feathers because they put Dalton Rushing in there to pinch hit as opposed to someone like Alex Call or someone else. But it's just the Dodgers really want to get Dalton Rushing some time. They really want to get him in these moments, and they really want to give him chances. And They want to find spots for him to play in full games and pinch hitting situations. And it did not work out Friday, but it worked out today. And it's going to be that way when you're dealing with young players. And I know. My inbox is just so flooded with Alex Cole that it's wild. But I mean, I understand it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Conforto has to go. The test it's failed. It just didn't work. The Michael Conforto situation and experiment here is just not working. It's just not working, and hasn't worked all season. And I said, okay, give him 200 at bats, and then let's see where it goes from there. And it died, right? It died rather quickly, and it just never really got going. And they need you to pull the plug on it, put someone else in there, and just go from there. If a guy goes 200, 220, it is what it is. It can't. It's going to be what Conforto was giving you anyways, right? But at least Dave won't have to face those questions. At least the team won't have to face the questions, and it'll get some people to calm down and shut up already about it, because it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. And I'd kind of given him some space and some grace for the bulk of the season, but I'm definitely to the point where, get him out of there. But if they play him, I'm going to root for him because I need him to succeed for my team to succeed. But I definitely don't think we're in a position where he should be out there anymore, for sure. But the more you saw this situation, now let's take this back. Let's take this back to the series that the Dodgers swept the Padres in last weekend, right? Let's go back there for a second before we go forward. Let's go back there. So you had the Dodgers coming in, getting swept by the Angels. You had the Padres coming in, obliterating the Giants. Everything looked like the Padres were going to do to the Dodgers last weekend, essentially what they did to them this weekend. And it just didn't happen, okay? It didn't happen. And being the Dodgers being who they are, they took us on a roller coaster, right? You sweep the Padres, and you're like, oh, yo, we swept the Padres, and now we got 4 more in Colorado. We definitely going to sweep them. Like it was easy to tell, okay, maybe 3-1 at worst, right? Is what the realistic mentality was. And then you got the Padres coming out of that and probably could have been a little shell-shocked, wondering what the hell just happened? How did this happen? And we're sitting here playing great baseball. Now we just got swept, and they come out of that series, and then they go and lose. They lose at home to the Giants in game 1 of that series, of their 4-game series there. So they lose 4 in a row, essentially 3 against the Dodgers and 1 against the Giants. The Dodgers sweep the the Padres, and then go in and lose game 1 to the Rockies. And now we're sitting here, and it's like, okay, that game 2 of the 4-game series for both teams is going to be pivotal. And the Giants go in and lose the next 3 to the Padres. The Padres completely body them. And then the Dodgers obviously split the 4 in Colorado, and then they come into the series this weekend, and it's right there for the taking for San Diego. They win the first 2 games. They go 1 game up in the Airbnb first place rental to be 1 game ahead. And you start to feel like, okay, the Dodgers need to get Sunday's game. They need to get game 3. They have to. They can't come out of this series down 2 games. They have to come out of this series tied. They have the tiebreaker, and they are still in first place. They had no choice. And I don't want to say that games 1 and 2 didn't require urgency, because it should have. But I felt something clicked in the Dodgers' heads today, and it was like, we can't come out of this 2 games down. We just can't. All right, we messed around here a little bit. We didn't take things as seriously, but we absolutely have to get game 3. We have to. And they came out, they loaded the bases in the first inning. They were patient. There was only 1 hit in that span. The hit from Mookie. Shohei walked. Mookie got a hit. Freeman walked. And then Teo almost, clapped a grand slam, but where he hit it to, it's tough to hit it out in Petco, even though 2 of the Dodgers did in that game. And the only run they got from there was a sacrifice fly in the first inning. They had bases loaded, nobody out. They couldn't get a hit, and the run that they got wasn't off a hit. And they come out of there, and it's 1-0. And after the first inning, I'm thinking, man, San Diego has to feel real good about that. And the Dodgers got to be like, here we go again, right? DMX, here we go again. Same old game, dog, just a different day, right? And it was like, are we going to do this again? And you got 1 hit by Yu Darvish, essentially, through 6 innings. You got 1 hit by Nestor Cortez through 6 innings. And now you're sitting here getting one hit by probably their best pitcher in Pivetta. And it just didn't feel like nothing was going to happen. They gave up the 2-run bomb. Yamamoto, the team doesn't really give run support to him. And now you're sitting here, you're down 2-1, and it just feels like it's going to become a bullpen game at some point. The Padres are going to probably score off the Dodgers' pen. The Dodgers probably aren't going to be able to score off the Padres' pen. It just started to feel like that again. And then something changed. Something changed. And they chipped away. They got things going. They tied it at 2. And then you had the huge Dalton Rushing moment, which, again, the Dodgers' belief in this kid, including, getting rid of someone like an Austin Barnes who was not producing on a major league level, either behind the plate anymore nor in the box with his bat, but they loved him. His teammates loved him. The organization loved him. They got rid of him to provide Dalton Rushing with an opportunity. And Will Smith, in his last contract negotiations, him and his agent both made it known. They're like, look, if I'm going to continue to play pitcher, there's really no other, catcher. There's really no other position for me to move to. I need a guy that can save my knees twice a week here. You know what I mean? And I'll cut you a little deal here on the bread for the deal, right? So the Dodgers, knowing this a year ago, knew when they extended Will Smith that they were going to have a primary backup back there that they can count on for 2 days a week. That was pretty much pre-negotiated. And when Dalton came up, he was an absolute stud in the minors. Every Major League Baseball team that tried to trade with the Dodgers wanted Dalton Rushing. Still do. They still do. And the Dodgers still very much believe in him. But when you're going for a very hitter-friendly league where he was coming from an OKC up to Major League Baseball, it's going to take some time for him to adjust and get ready and get his confidence and learn the league. And, he's had a few home runs, none bigger than the one he had today. Alex Freeman had a home run in game 1 and 2. And, so you got 3 home runs through your rookies in this series. And that's huge. And so the Dodgers woke up and they never looked back. Like I said, you had the Freddie bomb that tied it at 2. And then you had Freddie hitting another bomb. You had the Dalton Rushing bomb. You had the Shohei clap and then going trolling the Padre fan who was heckling him all day. And you just had a lot of things. The floodgates opened. And when that Dodger offense smelled blood and was going for it, and they have Estrada's number. Estrada, I think, has given up 23 runs this entire season, and 12 of them are to the Dodgers. All right. So the Dodgers have Estrada's number. They absolutely do. And the Padre bullpen, even Mason Miller had that phenomenal scoop play, but they made him sweat. Like the Dodgers have given the Padre bullpen some fits, and the Dodger bullpen has been pretty good against the Padres. So, and then you had 2 former Padres pitch a perfect 8th and 9th to shut them down in Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, 2 big arms and big guns that they're going to get back. And if those 2 guys are healthy, I still very much absolutely believe in them. And as you start to continue to get these guys back, and I will continue to die on the hill of 1, 2, 3 leads to the success of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. Because if you start an inning and you got 7, 8, 9 coming up, and 1, 2, and 3 are just giving you nothing, and the other team just feels confident in facing them, they don't fear them, then it affects the way you pitch to 7, 8, 9. It truly does. So you can go after them and try to mow them down and not give them and give them potentially stuff to hit and try to blow them away if you don't fear who's coming up behind them to get any hits. And so when you start to fear 1, 2, 3, then all of a sudden you pitch 7, 8, 9 different. And that opens up for 7, 8, 9. So when the top of the order's got it going, that really opens it up for 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, depending who you got in there, because sometimes guys have really good players in the 4, 5, 6 hole. But it depends on how deep your team is. And this is what the Dodgers need, because if your 7, 8, 9 is up there and at least 1 or 2 of them is capable of getting on or driving in runs, then your team is in a tremendous place. Like when Edmund was batting towards the back end of the lineup last year, when you had Pages last year, when you had guys out there that could get these timely hits and get on, and then your boppers come up and can bring them in. And when you've got Edmund and you've got Muncy and you've got Kim and you've got these guys that are all on the IL, your bench is absolutely depleted. And even Kike, who's actually having a worse offensive season than Conforto, but he can play multiple positions defensively, and it really, really helps you. So Hae-Sung Kim kind of got like the Alex Call treatment early in the season, where everyone just had these wild, ridiculous expectations for him and acting like he was some savior that should be in the lineup every day, because without him, the Dodgers can't win. And they've kind of adopted that now with Alex Call, which is a little bit odd. I understand people wanting him in there instead of Conforto, but I think people are holding on to that 4-hit game in Colorado way too tightly. That's not who he is. That's not going to be something you get with any regularity. And you know, he's going to have games where he goes 0 for 4. He's going to have stretches where he doesn't get a hit for 2 weeks, and that happens. And Kim will give that to you as well. But Kim's speed and his ability to make things happen, but he's still a rookie, and they don't like to really let him face lefties, right? So they're going to bring him along. And I told you guys during the season, they're like, why did Kim not get played today? And I told you guys he was dealing with something. He was dealing with an injury. He had a stomach bug, and then he had a shoulder issue. And then finally, about 2 weeks after that, they put him on the IL for it. But I'd already knew it, and I talked about it on my show. And the Dodgers have kind of do that. They let guys try to work it through to see if they can play through the pain. And then sometimes it just becomes too much and they can't play through the pain, and they just put them on the IL. But when you got Kim, you got Muncy, you got Edman, you got Kike, these are 4 really important pieces on the IL, and they need them. They need them, because then you could consider moving Teo to left. You can consider even keeping him in right, having some of those other guys platoon in left. It gives you the options to not have Conforto out there. And if there is, and I don't co-sign this, if there is a reason, or if there is any type of strategy of why they at least let Conforto get some games in, even if it's lefty-righty, is because of the injuries, and they don't want to probably sit the guy for a month and then ended up needing him again. So I wouldn't be playing him anymore, but I get with all the guys with that bench depleted, I get why they probably still have him around. I think maybe when some of these guys come back, because they DFA'd Jason Hayward last year, and they were making similar, they had similar contributions, right? But Jason Hayward wasn't making nowhere near as much money as Conforto, but most of that money has been spent now. I think Hayward's deal last year was $8 million. Conforto was $17 million, but they paid the majority of that already. So the money shouldn't be an issue, and it really never should have been. I do believe the Dodgers really believed that he would heat up at some point, and he did for a couple of weeks, and just couldn't ride the wave. And now he has had some great at-bats. He has taken some big walks, and he's had some pretty strong defensive plays. He's also had some defensive nightmares, and he's also had some horrible at-bats. So it's time. It's been time. It's time to move on. But if he's out there, I'm hoping he does something, because we're going to need him if he's out there. So when they get these guys back, I think things are going to kind of change. And the fact that, you know, Dave Roberts is starting to actually talk about it, the fact that he's actually calling guys out, you know, he called out Teo, he's called out Conforto, he's called guys out. And it's to a point now where you can't have guys like Conforto, you can't have Buddy in there. You can't have all these guys, you know, and you got Freeman, even though he had 2 home runs in this series, he's batting below 200. You can't have all these sub 200 guys in the lineup. You just can't do it. Now, Max Muncy was sub 200 for a long time, but we just felt like, and I defended him a lot, I really felt like he was going to get going, and he finally did. He did, and got it going, and it turned the season around. And, you know, we had back-to-back series against the Padres without Max Muncy, who was playing like one of our best players at the time, and we still took 4 of the 6 games. We still took 4 of 6. So look, like I said, we swept them. We came in on kind of a downturn, and we blew them out today, and still won 4 of the last 6, the last 2 weekends, right? And took 9 of 13 from them overall in the season, and went 9-4. So although the Padres, I do believe, have a very good team, I do believe the Padres should be given their credit, and I've made a ton of videos about why they should get their credit, and I've made a ton of videos saying, you know, showing love and props and respect to the Padre fans and the Padre team and all of that. At the end of the day, I still think the Dodgers are better, and I still think the Dodgers will beat them, and I think starting rotation is going to be very, very important. And I do not believe that these Padres starters will be able to hang with the Dodger starters in a 7-game series. I just don't believe it. And the money on the gambling, the betting doesn't believe it either. Like it's all still pointed towards the Dodgers. Now, it doesn't mean that the Padres can't do it. It doesn't mean that they can't get it done. It doesn't mean that they can't overachieve because they have all season. But I still like the Dodgers if the bats and if is a scary word, but if the bats, we don't need them to do what they did today. Like we don't need 2 home runs in a game from Freddie. We don't need, like, if you give Yamamoto run support, if you give Glasnow run support, if you give Blake Snell run support, if you help these guys out, then you're going to have a great chance. Like you're going to have like Darvish, who gives the Dodgers fits, except for the game last week in LA. Look, Nestor Cortez, I think most Dodger fans really just remember Nestor Cortez from the home run to Freddie Freeman when he went on the mound after not pitching for a month. But Nestor Cortez had a pretty good tenure with the Yankees before that. Like he had some really strong outings for them. He was a solid pitcher, and he kind of channeled that on Saturday night. And I don't think that Nestor Cortez is as good as what he did on Saturday night, but the Dodgers made him look like it. But it is, you throw him in there to face the top of the lineup in the World Series. he got clapped. So we had guys. We had another guy. Or who was it? There was someone in the for the Dodgers that we did the same thing that hadn't pitched for a month, and they threw him in there. Who was that for the Dodgers? I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, but the Dodgers threw someone in there that hadn't pitched for a month. That same game. So we did it today with Scott and Kirby Yates. You know what I mean? But it wasn't the World Series, and it wasn't a tie game, and it wasn't the bottom of the ninth with the tie game and the game 1 of a World Series. So a little different. But Nestor Cortez has not been a trash pitcher his entire career. He just got rocked by Freddie Freeman, and Darvish eats up the Dodgers, and the Dodgers were able to hang with Pivetta, who's had a very strong year, and they were able to rock Estrada again and really put work in on the Padre bullpen. And look, I'll tell you this right now. I don't care what you think about Dave Roberts, and I know a lot of you guys don't like him. I do. I'm still going to continue to ride for Dave. He's won our franchise 2 World Series championships, gotten us to 4. Dave Roberts clears in every possible way, including a shoving match, clears Mike Shildt. Mike Shildt is horrible. And I've said this numerous times. Whenever I'm at a Dodgers-Padre game, I look to the left to see the Dodger dugout. I look to the right to see the Padre dugout. And I just thank God that Roberts is in our dugout and Shildt is in his. I just thank God, because Shildt is horrible. And you think Dodger fans hate Dave Roberts? Look, I get it. There's a lot of Dodger fans who need someone or something to blame, like their own pride and ego can't allow them to understand they just got beat by someone better than them that day. They have to blame someone. Mike Shildt is trash. And Dave Roberts is a much better, and his players love him way, way more. So coming out of this series, it's going to be very interesting because you have the Reds coming in. You got a flamethrower coming in for game 1. The Dodgers really need to sweep this series, but the Reds are in a wild card race. They are in the playoff hunt, right? And they're like 6 games behind the Dodgers. so I'm not going to get, it's hard for me to get up here and say Reds can't sweep the Dodgers when the Angels swept them. The Rockies gave them a hard time. I like to think they couldn't, but imagine the Reds sweeping the Dodgers here and only being 3 games behind them after that. So it's scary when it comes in. The Dodgers have to handle business against every single one of these teams starting tomorrow night with the Reds. And I think the Dodgers get at least 2 in this series. I would love for no more for them to sweep. The Padres go up to Seattle and face the Mariners. That could be tough, man. The Mariners got some arms there. Riley is up there just clapping bombs. So, maybe the Mariners get 2 or 3 from the Padres. And if they get 2 or 3 from the Padres and the Dodgers get 2 or 3 from the Reds, and, we're in a lot better space. So you're going to have to rely on everyone else now because you don't face the Padres anymore this season. I kind of wish we did because, like I said, we have their number, 9-4. But we don't, unfortunately, we don't get to play the San Diego Padres every day. We don't get to play the team we've dominated every day. So we got to go out there and stop underperforming against these lesser teams. We got to go out there and stop getting swept by the Anaheim Angels. We got to stop getting, splitting series with the Colorado Rockies. We got to stop that now. We got to stop that now. We need to win every series from here on out. And if we do that, along with the tiebreaker, we win the division. And I think the Dodgers will win their division. And I think that they will start to figure some things out. But until they get guys back, until they have their depth, until guys are able to get days off, until guys are able to rest. Look, this is a very long season. It's a very long season. I know these guys are paid. I know this and that. But it is a very long season. Guys get tired. They went to the World Series and won it last year. All right. And then you get to spring training in February. It's long, man. It is a long season. And I've used this analogy plenty of times. It's like when you go to work and half your coworkers called out, right? Now you got to go there and you got to do your work and more. And you're going to get tired. You're going to get worn down. And I understand that these guys make millions. I understand what's expected of them. But they're still human, and they still get tired, and they still get worn down. And the Dodgers' depth has not been there this year because their depth was depleted. And the fact that they're getting all their arms back is huge, but the bats just need to do what the bats can do, what they're capable of. And the first two games of this series was just terrible. It was horrific. Today was so much better, right? It still took half a game to get there. It took them half a game to get to a point where their bats woke up. And as a result of that, when they did blow up, it was too late. It was too late. So it's one of those things where in baseball, you need a lot of things to go right regardless. You need a lot of things to go right. You need to be lucky. You need to be good. And if all those things happen, then you find yourself in position to win. But if some of those don't, and you're going to have times where they absolutely don't, you're going to be in some trouble. Now, the Dodgers have the talent in every aspect of the organization to counter it. The only question is, will they? And that's what we got to wait to see. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Once again, I am Empire Jeff. This is EmpireJeffTV. We are talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers 8-2 victory over the San Diego Padres earlier today at Petco Park. They do not get swept. They did lose the series, but they now head home, tied in the division in the standings. However, they are in first place still because they own the tiebreaker. I know a lot of San Diego fans don't seem to want to bring that little thing up. They keep talking about tied for first when you're not. We are still in first place, and the Dodgers have I don't want to call it a favorable series, but this series should be a little easier on them than the last one was. And there's just been this talk about how teams play after long series in Colorado, like not a 2-game series or a 3-game series. If you go up there and you play a 4-game series in Colorado, that the series after that, it's known that the offense struggles for the team that left Colorado. And the Dodgers definitely helped that data. But, while the data absolutely suggests that, it's just one of those things where, you know what I mean? I just don't want to believe it's that simple, right? I don't want to believe it's that simple because they were in Colorado where people hit the baseball very well, and they didn't hit it well enough when they were there either. So the data may back that up, but the data also backs up what happens in Colorado, and the Dodgers didn't do that either. So I've been hearing that a lot today, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I think this team is better than that. I think this team is better than the average team in Major League Baseball, and I think that a lot of the rules don't apply to them because of how good they can be, but it does happen. So but again, I appreciate y'all and thank y'all for tuning in. Let me go ahead and get to some of your chats here. We got Lakers Dodgers for life. What's up, my guy? He said, let's go. Appreciate you, Craig. What's up, Craig? Hope you're doing well. Drip Show. What's going on, Drip Show? Appreciate you as always. Lakers Dodgers for life again. Appreciate you, brother. Who else we got here? We got Jennifer says, never been so happy to salvage a game than today. Go Dodgers. Yeah, this game was big. And it's not because, we can't get swept by the Padres, or, it's because it's the Padres. But it was because we can't get swept by the Padres, and it is the Padres. We didn't want to leave this series down 2 games in the standings. Like, They don't want to do it. That tiebreaker only helps us like when we're tied at that point. Right now, when you're up 1, you're really up 2. When you're down 1, you're still down 1, but you're only 1 away from being up. You know what I mean? So that tiebreaker is huge, especially when you got a team that's going to be on your heels probably for the most of the finishing touches of the season. Drip Show said this is going to be a great show. Appreciate you, man. And shout out to Drip Show, man. I'm rocking the EmpireJeffTV branded Drip Show hat tonight, courtesy of Drip Show. So appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Thank you for the continued support and for the merch, man. Craig says Freddie is Dodgers Mr. Clutch. Yeah, man, he's been incredible. He's been incredible. And Freddie just has these moments. We've talked at length about how Walker Buehler would step up in these moments, clutch moments, October moments. And it just feels like Freddie just had enough at some point. And it was just like, I'm coming back. I'm waking up. And he did. And he's, he had that horrific slump. Will Smith is in his horrific slump right now, Pajes. But Freddie Freeman has been coming back. And we missed him. We need him. And he's definitely doing what he needs to do, and he did it today. Brent says Empire Jeff Padres did what they had to do. Take 2 to 3 from the Dodgers. Yeah, they did. But they did lose 4 of the 6 from the Dodgers over the last 2 weekends. So the Dodgers still won that stretch, and they come out of here tied. Let's see. Had the Dodgers won the series, the outcome would have been different. Oh, for sure. I agree. With 31 games left in the season, the NL West is definitely going to be interesting. For sure. It absolutely will be. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Dodgers lose the NL West. Surprised this year because of what they're going through, but I feel like we've been down this road before. I just think the Dodgers are going to win it. I think the starting pitching is just going to be the reason why. 31 games left. They need to go on a run 3 of every 4 the rest of the way. Yeah, they got to continue to win series for sure. As a Padres fan, we have been playing really good, winning 7 out of 8 series. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you lost the Dodger series. You won this series. This next series is going to be huge for them, though. Dodgers have been playing like they don't know how to win. The Dodgers have been playing like a team that's just depleted, man. Depleted and worn down for sure. Joe says Padres will eventually Padre. It's science. It might. And you know what? They're gonna have to wear that, right? Because that's their narrative. If they want to shut up that narrative, they've got to do better in the postseason and against the Dodgers. They beat them once, but that's not enough. Still talking about the Angels. Let's see. Dan Inspiration. What's going on, Dan? Why is Buddy Kennedy even on the team? Minor league players can do better than Buddy. Yeah, I mean, they like that he can play third and first like Muncy, is what they like. So they got him out there essentially for defensive purposes, and he is a solid defender. But, we're looking at we had Biggio and Ahmed last year, right? In these stretches. He'll be gone soon, and he's just kind of a fill gap right now. I don't love that he's playing every day. I would give those innings to Freeland and just continue to let him get reps. And Freeland can play multiple positions. He can field. He's got some pop in the bat. We finally saw it this weekend. Even his outs, he's had a lot of loud outs. You can tell the pop is there. And I would much, much, much rather have Miggy or Freeland playing third while Max is out. And we got some encouraging news on Max today. It sounds like he might be back sooner than later. And his healing this year has been something of a miracle almost. And it sounds like what we heard today, Max might be back sooner than expected for sure. Angels. We really need Kike, Edman, and Muncy soon. We absolutely do. Yep, they do. Let's see. Kim at 9, Edman at 8, Muncy at 5. Yeah, those we need those guys in those spots. I'll take Kike 100 over Conforto. No, I will too. That's my point. I will. Especially come October. But Kike had become almost an automatic out as well. But he's beloved here. He's earned it, right? And defensively, multiple positions, you can take him. Dan says, Alex Freeman home runs remind me so much of Corey Seager. It's funny because that's his comp. That is Freeland's comp. I know it's a lot of pressure and a big shadow to cast over. Talking about Seager, man. But Freeland is he's a high-touted prospect, and he's a shortstop too. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's going to play shortstop because of Mookie, but he is a very, very good player, and a lot of teams wanted him for a long time. We need Cal in left field. Call Cal. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't. There's a lot of Dodgers fans up here acting like Call's a savior or something. I think that's wild, but I think that's unfair expectations on the guy. I think he's solid. I think he's a decent player. And I would rather him in the lineup right now than Conforto for sure. But they're using him in splits right now. They're not giving him every day. And so I don't know if that's because they're not going to keep him on the roster come playoff time or if he's even going to be here. So I don't know what the strategy with that is, but I would much rather have him out there right now than Conforto for sure. Brent says, as a Padre fan, we shut the haters up, aka Dodger fans. Padres came up to get the series. Dodgers thought they'd sweep us again. I don't think anyone thought the Dodgers were going to sweep them again. I didn't think they were going to sweep them last time. I just think the Padres and Padre fans think about the Dodgers and Dodger fans way more than Dodger fans and the Dodgers think about the Padres. That is for sure. The Dodger fans have always gone down to San Diego and always, at bare minimum, 50-50 the stadium. There are so many Dodger fans in San Diego because the Padres were horrible for so long. Horrible. And there's so many Dodger fans out there. And most of these Padre fans are like 2019, 2020 and up. A lot of these Padre fans maybe watched casually, but they weren't like that. I used to go to Petco and it would be like a church, quiet as a church. You could hear a pin drop until the Dodgers came to town and Dodger fans lit up this place, right? And you got to give credit because the Padre fans have showed out. It's become an incredible place to go watch baseball. But I don't think anyone believed the Dodgers were going to sweep the Padres again. And like I said, I didn't think they were going to sweep them last weekend. But I think the Dodgers are in the Padres' heads a little much. And the Padres are like the Clippers. The Clippers only worry about the Lakers and not the other 29 or whatever teams. And the Padres seem to only worry about the Dodgers. And that's why they fail so much, is because you're too focused on them. The Dodgers are not strictly focused on the Padres. This is why I don't call it a rivalry, because I don't think the Dodgers really think about the Padres like that. I think the Dodgers look at the Phillies. They've had all these, the Atlanta Braves over the years, right? Obviously the Giants, and you've got all these teams that chant beat LA and come for the Dodgers and all this. The Padres are just the best team in their division the last handful of years, and that's why it feels like a rivalry to San Diego. But to us, it's really not. It is a division rival, and they've become a very worthy one. But San Diego is and never will be the Dodgers' rivals. Arizona tries it too. Arizona, because they beat us once in the playoffs, they really are dying to be the Dodgers' rivals, but you're not. You guys have not been good enough, long enough to be our rivals. You do not deserve a seat at the table with them. You just don't. That's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. You just don't deserve a seat at the table when it comes to a rival. Now, these games are great. These series are great. They are fun. We enjoy them. But that's where it ends. That's where it ends. The Orioles have had some great series with the Yankees, but the Yankees, no way, shape, or form, consider them a rival. They just don't. They don't. And I don't say this disrespectfully. I truly don't. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. The Padres are not a big enough brand. They're not a big enough name. They don't have their stars are nowhere near our stars. It's just not. It's not the same. It's not the same world. It's not the same world. And again, I really don't want to come off disrespectful in that. But it's just the truth. It's just the truth. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Dodgers outscored the Padres in the series. Yeah, they did outscore the series. And their bullpen has kept up with them the last 6 games. And I'm telling you, man, the Dodgers got their number. The Dodgers got their number. Haven't shut up anyone. Padres ain't winning. Dan Inspiration said Nestor Cortez was just lucky he won't pitch like that again this year. Against us this year, probably not. Dodgers wasted using Tanner Scott and Blake Trinan today. I wouldn't call it wasting. They needed work. Tanner Scott hasn't pitched in forever. Yates hasn't pitched in forever. And it's not a waste when you can go down there and mow down 1, 2, 3. And I think Trinan only faced 1 batter, so he's fine. He's good to go tomorrow. And Tanner Scott, that inning was such easy work. He could probably go tomorrow too. So I don't think they wasted anyone. Let's see. Dodgers offense definitely going to struggle trying to sweep a team that hasn't been swept yet this season. Cincinnati Reds. I'm not guaranteeing a sweep. I don't think that they're going to I think it's gonna be tough to sweep them because they've been playing well. But I think they're gonna win the series. Nestor got his little reward. Next time the Dodgers face him, he will get ended. Probably. I mean, I think he gave up 3 home runs in an inning to the Giants. I mean, it's just rough. It's just rough. Let's see. I just talked about that. I'm not sure. They'll get swept. He said Schultz trash. Yeah, Schultz is terrible, man. Roberts is brand new paper plate that doesn't been used yet. Oh, let's see. Reds haven't been swept yet. Padres hadn't been swept or hadn't lost 3 straight games on how long either until the Dodgers got them. It doesn't mean anything in baseball. You can't look at stuff like that because you could win 15 straight games and it gets swept. That's just how baseball works. They could. First for everything. Lakers Dodgers for life says, Jeff, what are your thoughts on Glass now? I'm starting to lose confidence in him. I'm starting to see a pattern with him. He gets rattled very easily. Dude has great stuff, but he needs to grow some. I still like him a lot. I still think he's got, tremendous stuff. I think that like a lot of pitchers, when the going gets tough or a team with Glass now, I feel it's, well, I'm going in too many different directions here. So Glass now is one of those pitchers, and they did this in Tampa too. Glass now is one of those pitchers that you got to be careful when teams see him a third or so time through the lineup. All right. Especially if he's going after him with fastballs. So, I've always said, like, you got to be very careful third turn through a lineup versus a very good team with the same pitcher. You got to be careful. And I feel like Glasnow is one of those guys that gets roughed up the third time through the lineup. And so I think the Dodgers strategy, if he's not, especially if guys if he's walking people and his pitch count is up and you're getting the third time through the lineup at like the 4th inning, you're running into trouble there with Glasnow. So I think when it comes down to, especially like what I mean by if his pitch count is high, if guys are working high counts or fouling off a lot of his pitchers, even if he strikes them out, they're seeing all of his pitches and his situational stuff. I think it comes to a point where guys start to figure it out a little bit. And I think the Dodgers need to prepare for that. So no, I haven't lost confidence in him. The only thing that's frustrated, that I've been frustrated with him about has been his health, right? And being now that, he's back and hopefully he can stay healthy. I know there was something bothering him today, but if he can stay healthy, and that's a big if. I still like Glasnow out there. I still trust him. I still think he's got nasty stuff, and I still think he can definitely win us games in the playoffs. This team was not assembled to be like every other baseball team. This team was supposed to be the 1927 or 1998 Yankees. Yeah, they definitely were supposed to be. But the team was also supposed to be healthy, and they have not been all season. They spent the bulk of the season with no rotation. They've got a depleted bullpen, so many guys on the IL. Mookie had been one of the weirdest, freakish seasons health-wise, and just stuff he's gone through. It's just crazy. And it's a weird season. And there's a lot you can chalk up to it. And they're not excuses. They're just simple facts. It's an explanation. The Dodgers have had a lot of things happen to them this year. There's been a lot of things go wrong. And they're still right there. And that's what I continue to say. Like, a lot of teams would have fallen off the grid and fallen off the map when you lose guys like this. And the fact that the Dodgers went months without Glasnow, months without Blake Snell. Roki Sasaki just came in as a complete dud out the gate. It's going to take some work to rebuild him. Tanner Scott not being as advertised. Kirby Yates having some issues. Kopech out pretty much the entire year. And there's a lot of things. Muncy's situation. There's been a lot of guys, Teo and Edmund, just not being right since their first stint on the IL early in the year. The Dodgers have just gone through so much stuff this year, and to be right here where they are right now, to me, is still a testament to how great the team can be, considering they've gotten there with an all-star lineup on the IL. They had at one point a division leading team on the IL. Like, if you took all the players that were on the IL and put it on a completely just canvas and just created a new baseball team, that team could win a division on its own. That was the Dodgers IL. And I know people, the people that say, I don't want to hear excuses. It's not an excuse when it's a fact. It's not an excuse when it's a fact. And it's a real thing that the Dodgers just went through a ton of stuff this year, and they're still going through it. And until they come out of that tunnel, until they come out of that on the other side whole, and they probably won't this year come out whole, they're going to have challenges because the team on paper is not the team on the field. And that's unfortunate, but it's the absolute truth. What's going on, Lewis? What's good, my brother Jeff? Get the likes up and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, tell a friend or family member about the channel. Let's go Dodgers. You got to believe. Absolutely, man. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Appreciate you guys. I know I don't pull up on the lives a lot because of my schedule and everything going on. And, I had some time tonight, but I've been still hitting y'all with the clips consistently. The channel's doing pretty well with those. Make sure to follow me on all socials at EmpireJeffTV, my IG, my TikTok, as well as the YouTube shorts. I'm getting, putting a lot of work on those because it's just easier for me to create content there. Due to my schedule, instead of pulling up for an hour and a half, I just haven't had the time. I do miss y'all, man. I do wish I could do this every night. I just simply haven't had the time. So I'm trying to still stay connected with y'all via the shorts or the reels or what have you. But on my IG and my TikTok, I do stories there as well. So make sure to follow me on those platforms. My TikTok is starting to grow at a pretty good rate here. I'm already starting to, I got monetized on there pretty quick, got live privileges, got a lot of different stuff on TikTok. It's just easier to do. And, it's not as heavily policed as YouTube. Like I could be out going live. There could be music going on around me and they don't, shut down the live. I don't get dinged. Like more freedom, at least for right now over there when I'm out and about. So make sure to follow me on those other platforms. Lakers Dodgers for life said Alex Freeman is a stud. I like what I'm seeing from him so far. I do like Freeman. Freeland. What? My English is so jacked up tonight. Freeland, I've always liked him. And like I said, him, like Rushing, are going to struggle at times because of their youth and because they're rookies. But I think both of them have a pretty decent chance of having a bright future. And, the Dodgers, that pipeline is still going to continue to bring guys through it. What do you think about Bobby Miller getting another opportunity out of the pen? Do you see that? I do see that happening. I do see that happening soon. I think he comes up in September. I think he gets added to the Dodgers pen. I worked this into a show about a month ago, and I was talking about that. And my guys down in OKC, shout out to them. You got Dodgers Daily, and I got some people out there that that have season passes and people that cover the team down there. They actually gave me a press pass to OKC. I had family who lived in OKC, and I was going to go to some games out there. So shout out to them, man. Really, really good ran organization down there that really is content creator friendly. But I will say I have eyes down there. Like people, I could talk to people who are watching the games live and people that cover them. And I got wind of this before it actually happened. And I said, they're kicking around putting Bobby into the pen. And they're really excited about it. They've been trying to get him to do it. He hadn't bought in on it. And he finally came, basically said, look, I'll do whatever you guys need me to do. I need to get right. They put him in there and he has been lights out. So with Bobby Miller, it's never been about the stuff. It's been about between the ears. And if they can fix that mentally and get him up here and he can have a successful stretch as a reliever in MLB, the Dodgers will greatly benefit from that because I love that kid, man. He was my favorite prospect since Julio. If y'all watch me long enough and you watch my show long enough, you guys know how much of a Bobby Miller guy I was. Miller time was a big deal to me before he came up. And, it really, really disappointed me. And he came up, he looked great when he first came up. And then he had a couple knick-knack injuries. He had some things and he just wasn't the same. He took that comebacker to the head and he just wasn't the same. And I'm still rooting for him, whether it's a Dodger or whether he's a Dodger or not. But obviously, while on the Dodgers, and then, yes, I do think that there is a pretty decent chance that he does come up to the big league club when they do the call-ups in September. Drip Show says the IG was hilarious tonight. Yeah, my wife, my wife, man. My wife is very funny, man. Like she's a little spicy Latina, man. She like to talk her trash, and I just did like I rarely, if ever, on my sports socials include her in any of my posts. My personal, I do all the time. So those who know me have seen it numerous times, how she is, or how we are. And so today it was like one of the first times I put her on my TikTok, and I basically just said, like, babe, what do you think about the Dodgers sweeping the what do you think about the Dodgers sweeping the Padres? And she was like, I gotta hear you cry like a little girl tonight. So I love it. I'm like, this, she really but I just heard her, talking trash. And so I put that on my TikTok and my IG. So that's what Drip Show's talking about. She got me. I took the sickest double take too. Cause I'm like, did you And my sister-in-law was up there laughing at me too. I'm like, what are you laughing at? Like, nah, it was comedy though. But I'll start introducing her a little bit more on those sites because I think she adds something to it, man. She does. She's a funny woman. Bobby Miller, big Bobby Miller fan too. Yeah, I love Bobby, man. Man, I don't want to give up on him because I still think he can go somewhere and turn into something, and I hope it's with the Dodgers. I really, really do. Really, really do. I still like Bobby Miller, man. My big brother Jeff, you have 14 likes on the live tonight. I appreciate you, man. I feel like we should have more, man. 14 likes. Again, I know YouTube gets upset when we don't pull up live and they don't push the streams out and notifications don't go out. I get it. I know how the game goes. You're not consistent. They don't, they kind of forget about you. And but I appreciate you guys not forget about me when I pull up. So thank you guys. And again, I would love to be here more often. I wish I could. And hopefully, when things slow down a little bit, I'm at a point in my career where things are really taking off and going great, and I've got a lot of responsibility and people that count on me and depend on me, and I don't get home as early, and I go to work. I just got a whole lot on my plate right now, man, and unfortunately, it doesn't leave a lot of time for hour streams. You know what I mean? So. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And but like I said, make sure to follow all the socials and check out my shorts and all that because I'm still staying active, very active over there on that side of the streaming world. Y'all make a great team. Appreciate you, Just Show. Yeah, she is. It's like everyone who meets my wife loves her. You know what I mean? Because like she a little, like I said, she's real easy to get along with. She could talk trash, but at the same time, she's very respectful and kind. And I'm like the luckiest man in the world, man. Like I got the best wife, the best little beagle. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, absolutely blessed. So that video that I put out today was just kind of a slight little like insight to how we are. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly how that video pretty much sums it up. That's exactly how we are. And that's the reason, that's wifey. And we have a lot of fun. But yeah, the Dodgers, look, what do you guys think this next series goes? How many wins do you think the Dodgers get in the next series versus the Reds? Do you guys worry that the Reds are going to get them? Like, do you think the Reds have a chance of winning the series? Do you guys think the Dodgers are going to sweep them or take 2 or 3? Like, let me know, because I think that I think the Reds pose a threat. I think they absolutely pose a threat, and the Dodgers got to show respect, and they got to pay attention to them because, like I said, they're only 6 games behind them. They're in the wild card lead, and they're fighting for a playoff spot. You got old friend Gavin Lux coming back. De La Cruz is incredible. You got to keep that man off the base pads because he is fast as all hell. But if you don't respect the Cincinnati Reds, they're gonna get a game on you. They're gonna get a game. They're gonna get a name on you, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's got so many notifications on my screen. Just want to make sure. Okay. But they can get a game on you. So the Dodgers got to bring it. The bats got to stay. I'm not saying the bats got to score 8, but some of these guys play much better at home. And I think the Dodgers need some games at home. They just came off a 7-game roadie. That was a tough stretch. And, I was saying, coming home from this 7-game roadie, they should come back 5-2 or 6-1. And they came back 3-4. No. They came back 3-4. That's unacceptable. That's not good enough. So they definitely have to be better. Has she wifey always been a Dodger fan, or did she become a Dodger fan when you got together? No, she was a Dodger fan. She become a bigger Dodger fan because of me and my family, and she watched every World Series game with us last year for probably the first time in her life. And she definitely, I would get home and she would already be in Dodger gear, and she would already I'd hear her pull up, and outside in the front, and I'd hear the Dodger game on the radio in her car. That never would happen before. So yeah, she's kind of been a Dodger fan. She liked to go into Dodger games, but never to the point where she was like watching games without me. And then she started doing it now. I'll get home, and her and Lucky are on the couch watching the Dodger game. That never happened before. And she'll would call me at the end of a game, the damn Dodgers, what did they do? She gets more into it now. So yeah, it's she's definitely all in on them. And she was a fan because she's from LA. The Dodgers, and her brothers are Dodger fans, and and stuff like that too. But she never really got fully into sports until me. You know what I mean? And really like got into it. So, but now, like I said, now she's up on things, man. She's up on things. She'll tell me something. You see the Dodgers trader? You see what the Dodgers did? You see the Dodgers got like she knows things. Like she checks and looks for things now where she never did before. She didn't really care. And now she does. So I love that, right? I love that because any woman that watches and pays any type of attention to baseball, she's still learning the game though. She's still learning like the insides of the game. She don't know a lot of the rules and stuff like that. She knows enough. Like she knows the players. She kind of knows, enough, but she doesn't know a lot of the inside in and outs of the games. But so do a lot of my friends. Some of the friends I hang out with, they know enough about baseball, but they really don't know the rules or the strategies and a lot of the stuff. And I got to explain a lot of stuff to my people when it comes to baseball a lot because they're either like big NBA or big NFL guys. And there's people who watch baseball still don't fully understand it. You'd be surprised how many people just don't understand the game of baseball. Like a lot, like the ins and outs, the intricacies, just all the game within the game and how organizations run and especially nowadays, like it's just such a different era and a different style of game from the way it's managed to the way the organizations run their teams to the way their minor leagues play, to the way they do their lineups, to the way they play defense, and everything about baseball is just so different now. And you almost have to retrain your brain on how they do things because some of it is just so different than what we grew up and got used to. And it's hard to adjust to it sometimes, but it's still a beautiful game. And I feel baseball has a chance to really take it to the next level. And I really hope they don't mess this up with the lockout because they have a chance here to do great, great things with the sport. And I hope they do it. I hope they don't fumble this because you cannot take this away from us at the time where it's peaking at its highest point in probably our lifetime. And if they were to take this away via a lockout or whatever it is, it would be a mistake that they may not ever recover from. So I hope they don't botch that over greed. I hope they realize there's enough for everyone to go around. I believe they should be able to figure this out without a lockout. They need to figure this out without a lockout. Will they? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. So on that note, I appreciate y'all. Made it just about an hour here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to shut it down for the night. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and just appreciate everyone who constantly, watches all my work on multiple different platforms, stays engaged. I try to respond to everything to the best of my ability. My channel's not that big where I can't, respond for the most part. But it's still fun, and I'm doing my best to keep up with you guys. Get to this last one. I'm having a hard time adjusting to this new style of baseball. And like I said, I'm kind of in the middle, right? Like I love the old school type of baseball, but I understand where the game is going, and there's nothing I can do about it. So those days are just gone. You almost have to just look at it as like a reboot, like a remake, right? And as with everything, it evolves. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. I still think it's a great game. I do miss parts of what we had before. But I do like some of the progressive stuff, but it is tough to adjust to because it's what we knew our whole life, right? And when that starts to change over time, but if they want more fans engaged and then they want the game to grow and they want to get the casual fans into it and they want to build a better sport, then you're going to have to make changes, even if guys like you and I don't necessarily love all of them, right? It just kind of is what it is. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Hope you had a great Sunday. Have a great Monday. Dodgers back tomorrow. It is Mookie Betts ring night tomorrow. So if any of y'all go into the game, make sure to get that ring. Where's my Kobe bobblehead? I don't have it on there behind me. So I got of late, I got my favorite gets or giveaways was the World Series trophy that I wanted to get. I got that. The Shohei Ohtani championship ring. I got that. The Kobe Bryant bobblehead. I got that. The Oral Hershiser jersey. I got that. I do want Mookie's tomorrow because it's my favorite player's ring night. I don't know if I'm able to make the game tomorrow. Part of me is like, man, let me just pull up, get the ring and dip because I want the ring. Mookie's my guy. Don't know if I'm going to be able to though. So, but again, appreciate y'all. And there's I'm getting a Dave Roberts bash on the way in here. So appreciate y'all. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. As always, let's go Dodgers. Great win tonight. On to the next one against the Cincinnati Reds, man. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.